All right, so today let's look into something kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess. It's chewing gum for weight loss.
Ah,
You heard that right.
yeah.
Our listener sent in an article, from WebMD
Okay.
called Diet Myth or Truth, Chewing Gum for Weight Loss,
Mm.
and wants to know if there's actually anything to this.
It's definitely one of those
Yeah.
claims, like you
Yeah.
kind of raise an eyebrow at it.
Yeah, too good to be true, right?
Yeah. But what's fascinating is that there's some
Thanks. Oh,
research to back it up.
really?
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Right.
Okay, so color me intrigued.
Okay.
The article mentioned a study
Yeah.
from the University of Rhode Island.
Okay.
What did they find?
Well, they found that people who chewed gum before lunch ended up eating
Okay.
68 fewer calories during the meal,
Wow.
which is interesting. But what's even more surprising is that
Yeah.
they didn't seem to compensate for that
Okay.
by eating more later.
So they weren't just shifting the calories around. They
Mhm.
just ate less overall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
Yeah.
they burned about 5% more calories
Just from chewing.
just through the act of chewing.
Wow. So we're not talking massive calorie burn here, but
Mm.
it does make you wonder if this
Yeah.
could be a way to tap into
Yeah.
like mindful eating.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the act of chewing sends signals to our brain that we're
Yeah.
consuming something.
Yeah.
And that helps with like satiety and stuff.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
It's something researchers are still exploring.
Okay.
But there's definitely a connection between
Yeah.
oral stimulation
Right.
and
Yeah.
feelings of fullness.
Okay.
So it makes sense that chewing gum might trigger some of those same pathways.
The article also mentioned another study
Yeah.
from Louisiana State University.
Okay.
They looked at the impact of chewing gum on appetite.
Okay.
What did they find there?
In that study, chewing gum led to a reduction
Okay.
of about 40 calories per day
Oh, okay.
and fewer cravings, participants reported.
Okay, so 40 calories, that doesn't...
Right. It doesn't seem like
Yeah, that doesn't seem like much.
No. But if you think about it,
Yeah.
swapping a small bag of chips
Okay.
for a piece of gum once a week
Okay.
could lead to
Yeah.
2-pound weight loss over a year.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah,
it puts
really.
it in perspective. It's
Yeah.
not about some
Right.
drastic change, but just these small choices.
Exactly. Consistent choices.
That add up over time.
Right.
But
Yeah.
before we get too carried away,
Uh-huh.
gotta ask,
Yeah.
what's the catch?
Well, a couple things to keep in mind.
Okay.
Sugar-free gum is essential.
What?
It's significantly lower in calories,
Right.
usually less than 5 calories apiece,
Compared to...
compared to 10 for the sugary kind.
Right. So we're not aiming to increase calories. We're aiming to decrease.
Exactly.
But I've heard even
Okay.
sugar-free stuff
Hmm.
can have its downsides.
That's true.
So,
While programs like Weight Watchers
okay.
and the American Diabetes Association
Mm-hmm.
categorize sugar-free gum as a free food,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to remember
Okay.
moderation is key.
So there is a limit.
Right. Free food doesn't mean unlimited quantities.
Okay. What happens if you go overboard?
Well, some artificially sweetened foods,
Yeah.
including sugar-free gum,
Mm-hmm.
can have a laxative effect
If you eat too much.
if consumed in large amounts.
Okay. And speaking of laxatives,
Yes, this is where things get a bit more complicated.
ooh, this is where it gets interesting.
Most sugar-free gum contains sorbitol,
Sorbitol.
which is a type of sugar alcohol.
Oh, so sugar alcohols.
Yeah.
What exactly are those?
They're essentially carbohydrates
Okay.
that have a chemical structure that's
Oh,
part sugar and part alcohol.
Interesting.
So they're often used as sweeteners
Yeah.
because they contain fewer calories than sugar,
Right.
but they can also have a laxative effect, especially when consumed in excess.
Okay, so how much sorbitol is too much?
Well,
Asking for a friend.
the British Medical Journal actually documented cases
Oh, wow.
of chronic diarrhea and weight loss
Okay.
linked to chewing 15-20 sticks of sorbitol-containing gum daily.
15, 20. That's
Yeah.
a serious gum habit.
Yeah,
That seems like moderation is really important.
absolutely.
And the article mentions another potential downside,
Yes.
bloating
Yes.
from all that air swallowing.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have any suggestions for mitigating that?
They recommended alternating
Okay.
between gum and hard candy
Okay.
to reduce the amount of air you're swallowing.
Okay. So chewing gum for weight loss, it's not quite that
Right.
magic bullet I was
Yeah.
hoping for.
It's not a magic bullet, but it sounds like
Yeah.
it could be helpful as
Yeah.
part of a broader strategy.
You hit the nail on the head, right?
Mm.
It's recognizing that chewing gum could play a role
Yes.
in managing hunger and cravings,
Ex-
which in turn can help with calorie reduction,
Right.
but it's not going to melt away the pounds on its own.
Exactly.
It's about those healthy habits,
Wow.
diet, exercise, all
Right.
that good stuff.
Chewing gum's just one small piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's like with any tool,
Yeah.
you need to know how to use it
Right.
effectively. Right.
Exactly.
What does this mean for our listener
Yeah.
who wants to try this out?
The key takeaway here is that sugar-free gum could play a role in weight management,
Yeah.
but it's not a magic bullet,
Right.
and it's definitely not a substitute for a healthy lifestyle.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
a little nudge in the right direction.
Exactly.
It can help curb those cravings,
Right.
make those slightly healthier choices.
You know, this whole conversation
Yeah.
about chewing gum's impact got me thinking about
Ooh, I love it when you get that look.
what other small
Yeah.
changes do we overlook?
Yeah, what comes to mind?
Well, for starters,
Yeah.
something as basic as staying hydrated,
Oh, yeah?
drinking enough water throughout the day
Yeah.
can have a huge impact
Right.
on your energy levels,
Yeah.
digestion,
Right.
even your mood.
It's crazy how
Yeah.
we take that for granted,
Yeah.
but it's so important
Yeah.
for how we feel.
It really is.
And then there's sleep.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, so many of us are
So many of us are
sleep deprived.
sleep deprived.
It can affect everything.
everything.
Weight management,
Yeah.
cognitive function,
Right.
our immune systems.
You name it.
Sleep is my Achilles heel.
Yeah. I understand.
You know, I should prioritize it more.
It's a common struggle.
But it's always the first to go
Yeah.
when I'm stressed.
Yeah, I get it.
But even 30 minutes earlier
Yeah, even just 30 minutes
can make a huge difference
make a huge difference.
in how you feel the
Exact-
next day.
The next day,
You know, I've noticed that even small changes in my sleep
Yeah.
schedule really impact my well-being.
and then there's
Yeah.
all those little choices we make throughout the day
Like what?
that add up.
Yeah.
Taking the stairs instead of the elevator,
Yeah.
parking further away from the store.
Yeah, or walking around
Yeah.
while I'm on the phone
Exactly.
instead of sitting there.
All those little bits of
Yeah.
movement
It does make a difference.
add up over time.
Yeah.
It's not about
Right.
becoming a marathon runner overnight.
Yeah.
It's about finding those small,
Yeah.
sustainable
Yeah.
ways to incorporate more activity.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Small, achievable changes.
It feels much more manageable,
Yeah.
less daunting.
Than changing your whole life.
It's about progress,
Yeah.
not perfection.
And you know what I find? It's those small changes
Yeah.
that lead to the bigger ones.
Exactly. Once you start experiencing those
Mhm.
positive effects,
You feel motivated?
you're more likely to feel motivated.
Yeah. To keep going. It's like a domino effect.
Precisely.
Good habits.
So while chewing gum might not be
Yeah.
the ultimate
The weight loss solution?
weight loss solution,
Yeah.
some might hope for it.
It does highlight the power
It does.
of those small changes.
It's about shifting our perspective
Yeah.
and recognizing
Yeah.
that even the smallest actions can have
Yeah.
a big impact over time.
It's about being mindful
Yeah.
and intentional.
Intentional with our choices.
And always staying curious,
Yeah.
questioning those easy answers and
Yeah.
digging a little deeper.
Well said. That's what we're all about
Yes.
on the deep dive.
The deep dive.
So to our listener,
Yes.
we hope this deep dive into chewing gum and weight loss
Mm-hmm.
has given you some food for thought.
Pun intended.
Unintended.
Remember, it's not just about what you chew on,
Right.
but how you approach your health and well-being
As a whole.
as a whole.
And if you're ever curious about a health claim,
Or want to explore a topic further,
yeah,
you know where to find us.
you know where to find us.
We're always here,
We're always here.
ready to dive deep into the world of information
The fascinating world of information.
and help you sift through the noise.
Speaking of sifting through the noise,
Yeah.
before we wrap up, you know, I was thinking
Yeah.
about the potential downsides
Okay.
of chewing gum.
Like,
Could it become a crutch,
ooh, interesting.
preventing us
Good.
from addressing deeper issues
Okay.
with our eating habits?
You mean like we're trying to trick ourselves?
Right.
Instead of just listening to our bodies?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't forget about dental issues.
Oh, yeah. That's
If
real.
you're constantly chewing gum,
Oh, that sugar.
especially the sugary kind,
Yeah.
all that sugar,
Not good.
not good.
For your teeth.
And all the artificial sweeteners
Oh, yeah.
and additives in some gums.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot to consider.
It is.
So I guess like most things in life,
Yeah.
balance is key.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Chewing gum might have its place as a tool,
Yeah.
but it's not a magic bullet.
Right.
Shouldn't be treated as such.
It's about being mindful.
Exactly.
Our choice.
Understanding the benefits
Yeah.
and drawbacks.
And always being curious.
And always being curious.
Yeah.
Questioning.
Yeah.
Easy answers.
Digging deeper.
Digging deeper.
Well said.
That's what we're all about.
That's what we're all about.
Here on the Deep Dive.
Deep dive.
So
To our listener.
we hope this has given you some food for thought.
Pun intended.
Pun intended.
Remember,
It's not just about what you chew on
it's about how you approach your health and well-being
as a whole.
as a whole.
And if you're curious about a health claim
Yeah.
or want to explore a topic further,
You know where to find us.
you know where to find us. We'll be here ready to dive deep.
Ready to dive deep into that fascinating world of information
The fascinating world of information.
and help you separate fact from fiction.
Fact from fiction.
Until next time, stay curious
Stay curious.
and keep chewing on those big questions.